This poem is called The Science of Empathy. If empathy is just the act of putting yourself in another person's shoes, imagine how many problems that could be mended by simply asking yourself, how would I feel if I were this person? There is an inner voice in everyone that when listened to can tell when someone's heart is dark or light, or when their mind is suffering or fine, or when their heart is broken. And if you only listen to that voice, I think a lot of what science says they want to categorize and define can be solved with simple empathy and consistent positive symbiosis, consistent interactive love and concern for one another that should just be shown more often. Because there can be no mental health in a world where we throw darkness and violence towards one another's emotions. There can be no mental health while the governments of the world are dedicated to engrossing our hearts in pain and fear and coercion on a daily basis through every means necessary. Do we really need to know the word narcissist to know that we should stay away from hearts that are dark and agenda filled and selfish? Do we really need to know the words autistic or ADHD to know that it's not okay to belittle those who struggle with simple things? To know that we should just help our fellow man because they're human and not need a reason more? Are we so dependent on proper vernacular and specific speech that we cannot feel each other's pain instinctually without having a doctor's note or a specific explanation? There is this high and mighty separation between the educated and the simply unknowing, wherein the educated behave as though if the earth could speak, it wouldn't call all of humanity narcissistic. We rape and murder the earth and all of its resources and give praises of authority to those that behave complicit in the system's evolution, the dark and agenda-filled system. If the earth could speak, it would call all of us a selfish joke of sentient creation. It literally costs nothing to treat each other as equals, and yet it is one of our biggest struggles as a species. And even if we erased all narcissism and autism and addiction and mental health illness from the earth, we would still suffer from all the huge degrees of emotional recklessness that we show each other as a species. We ignore and deprive our brothers and our young so deeply and consistently that getting addicted is like shooting fish in a barrel for corporations, that kids will literally adopt mental illnesses and radical groups and political agendas merely for the sensation of feeling not alone. That is how deeply we ignore each other. Do we really need to define ourselves or each other as highly sensitive to know that when we dismiss each other's sensitivities, we push each other away every day, farther and farther away, by being less concerned with how each other feel? We are. Why are only those who put up with this stupid bullshit considered strong? Are you actually suggesting that in the midst of treating each other poorly and violently, only those who support this wicked heart are sane, and those who cry because they see through the bullshit, those are the sick and the sensitive and the ill? You know what? I'm sick and tired of the idea that the calmest one in the room is the most sane. You know, simply because he's calm. Well, you know what I say in the middle of mass corruption like this? The calm man is the insane one. I say passion and emotion is the sane reaction. When I see a man looking at the world, labeling everyone, instead of giving them close love, screaming, this shit is wrong, I don't see a crazy man. I see a man who's finally making some fucking sense. But to keep your scam going, the kids who are born able to see through your bullshit, to simply show empathy to the sick and the evil, let's call them sick. Let's put them on pills. Let's lock them up. Get them on all the help that they need because we care about their help, except for actual consistent love and affection. That kind of help is given to the slaves who don't resist the collar that you put around their mind. Ask yourself, how many gifted kids are we going to call selfish because they push the bounds of what's usual while the majority wants to stay subservient and basic? We have to sharpen our instincts to the science of empathy, or else we'll never see the brilliance of the abstract or the light that's still left in those who've turned to the dark, and the spectrum of all vibrant souls in between. You wouldn't believe how many people we call sick just because they need to be seen and heard. That nothing is needed more than simple human affection. And we're so afraid of things that are gentle and vulnerable that we say, no, I'm not giving that warmth to you until you assimilate and behave like a normal person. I'm not going to give you this love and warmth until you fit into the standards, the policies. I'm tired of this assault on empathy and gentleness, passed off as some sort of upgrade of strength. And I'm tired of society pretending it hates narcissists when we as a species blatantly harm and violate the gentle and empathetic consistently. We fucking promote narcissism in sales fucking seminars on a daily basis. We have entire motivational speeches promoting people to become salesmen deeper and deeper. Think about yourself. Think about the hustle. Think about how much you can push the product every day. Forget about love. Think about the product and the sale and the money. Keep thinking about it. It is conditioning you into darkness and pretending to direct you into light. For God's sake, just hold each other more. Just listen to each other more. Reach out, kiss each other, physically look at one another, and be around when you see the other person's pain. We have to sharpen the instinct to love freely. If we don't know how to love freely, if we rely on words and diagnosis and psychologists and doctors to push us in the right direction every time, evil will just become more clever and complex, like a virus evolving to overcome a new vaccine. And we will keep accusing our children of illness after illness in order to run away from the illnesses of our own.